So I was riding blindfolded at around like 50, 52 miles an hour, and I almost died. And my face changed forever, so here's what actually happened. So I was 16. I was the only kid in town with a motorcycle, by the way. I used to have this cover band that we used to play a lot, actually. And we were trying to take it seriously, we wanted to be rock stars. Well, who doesn't at 16? But the thing is that, we wanted to eventually create our own music. And we were working, selling pies and empanadas that actually my friend's sister used to make. She was gorgeous, by the way. She was so hot. But the thing is that she used to make everything and we would just get the money, right? So already exploiting women. So one day I got out of class, high school, and but here in Argentina we have this morning and afternoon high schools, if you will. Yeah, it's the same building. Basically, they are able to get double the people, right, in the same place, because it's, in the morning it goes one group and in the afternoon another group. Normally the cool people go in the morning, right? So I've always went in the mornings to high school. It's not that you can choose, you just get one. But the thing is that, I used to go in the morning my entire life. But I was such a piece of shit, and I used to go to this religious school, right? And they just hated me. They hated me. But as it is a religious school, they can't spell you. That's the tricky part. So they talked to my mother to try and make me go somewhere else. My mother couldn't find place anywhere. It's complicated here in Argentina to get, at least in my city, to get a place in a school. What they could do is just take me away from my friends, right? They put me in the afternoon class where I didn't know anyone. I was still doing my thing though. Oh man, I got so many stories. Some of them I can't even tell you, but let's get back to this story. So it was about 6 p.m. I get out of class, and one of my friends asked me to take him home, right? I say, okay, yeah, let's go. And I take him home, and I was close to my bandmate's house. So I had the money in my pockets of the empanadas that we sold the day before, the weekend before, something like that. And I said, okay, I'm gonna get my friend and go buy these cables and picks, right, for the guitars and stuff. And so I go get him, and we were riding. I've always been fucking crazy. I've always been kind of fucking crazy. This is me when I was 12 doing crazy shit. Yeah, I always been like reckless, This was just one of many moments. So I was driving down this, I think it's called Boulevard in English, I don't know. And that shit's got a canal, river, I don't know how to say it, in the middle, so it was pretty dangerous that I did it there specifically. So I was I was riding, and I used to be a Guns N' Roses like super fan, so I had my bandana on my head, and I told my friend, hey, I'm gonna put the bandana over my eyes and you tell me left to right. Okay. It's so fucking stupid, because it can't be done. I don't know. I don't think it can be done because you lose balance, right? The thing is, I do it and it starts. I don't hear anything, so I just and I go about like 52 miles an hour, and I hear like this deep sense of fear in my friend's voice. It's like, no, dude. I never heard anyone being so scared, that I could feel the fear in his voice. He said in Spanish, I was like, no, boludo. It was crazy. And, the thing is that my friend thought that I was just fucking around, that I was actually looking, right? So he thought I was just, I'm gonna go to the side. No, I wasn't looking. And, if I opened my eyes, I could see, right? I could see a little bit. But I didn't want to cheat. I just wanted to drive blindfolded. So I was with my eyes closed and the bandana over my eyes, and I just 50 miles an hour, 52. And there was this big bump of dirt in the side of the road because they were constructing something, So it was like a ramp, I hit that shit, right? So the motorcycle jumps. Actually, my friend jumped off the bike like a second before, motherfucker, and I jumped with the bike, right? And I crashed face first with a fucking tree. It was fucked up. I didn't know what happened at the time, right? Because I wasn't looking. I didn't put my hands or anything because I wasn't looking, right? I just face first, and I get up immediately. I speed, so because I felt like the crash was hard. I thought we crashed against a car actually, because I could see in the distance a car, parked, and I said, well, that's the only obstacle, right? And I thought we crashed against that fucking shit, so I got up like fast to get the fuck out of there, Oh shit, we gotta get out of here. And I get up, I spit on the floor, and I didn't spit any blood, so okay, I guess I'm good, but I couldn't see very well. I remember that. I started looking at me because there was blood, right? Everywhere, but I wasn't cut or anything. What happened is that, I got my nose fucking pushed inside my head, basically. I get up and I say, my friend, hey, let's get the fuck out of here. Dude, you broke your nose? And I was like, oh no, because my eyes, when you hit your nose, you get a few tears, whatever, or your eyes get a little swollen, right? So I had this huge crash, and my eyes went like in 2 minutes, and I was blind. I couldn't see anything because it was so swollen that I couldn't open my eyes. It was super like this, man, and so my face looked like I don't know. I looked like a fucking monster, man. I looked like a fucking monster. Realizing that I can't breathe through my nose, right? Because my nose, like I had nothing here. The bone was completely inside my head, and my eyes were like this. So I looked like a fucking monster. I was sort of bleeding everywhere. I had a cut here and here, and after 1 or 2 minutes, I was blind. I couldn't see, and I was like that for 2 weeks. Actually, I couldn't see for 2 weeks. So someone called an ambulance because they see me there. So the ambulance comes. I couldn't see anything already, but I knew the ambulance was there. Someone asked me, hey, I remember that the guy said something like, whoa, what the fuck, something like that, because they see my face. I was really fucked up, man. I looked like I was dead. Someone with that face couldn't be alive, and that's I got in the ambulance. We go to the hospital. They call my parents, right? They call my parents. The first to get in is my mother. My mother is the coldest person I've ever met. She doesn't show any emotions ever, and she went nuts because I looked like a monster, and I looked like I was fucking dead. And my mother's friend, she's a doctor. She was trying to calm her down. Because she went like, oh no, what the hell, It was crazy to hear my mother like that. I didn't see her because I couldn't see, but this is one of the worst parts, right? So my father comes in, tough man, whatever, and just starts crying, and he's, I'm laying down, he's over my head. My father's, he's just touching my head and crying, and I can feel his tears, because he's like this. His tears are dropping on my face. I can feel his tears like doof, doof. It was, it was tough, and I was trying to tell him that, hey, Dad, I'm fine, relax, everything was okay. I was trying to calm him down, but dude, I looked like I was dead, like I was completely no life in me, and I looked horrible. So I understand their reaction, right? So the hospital tells my parents that, no, we don't have equipment enough here to handle this, So they take me to this other hospital, this private hospital, and they say the same, no, this is too much. Nobody wanted me to die in their hospital, right? These motherfuckers. So I'm jumping from hospital to hospital, and they say, okay, you have to go to capital city, right? There's a bigger hospital there, like a good one, and more doctors, more equipment. So we get in the ambulance, we go to my house to get some clothes or whatever, and my sister is outside, right? And she went nuts. She started screaming. Her ex was there. She was trying to calm him down. like, what happened to him? Because I was, laying down. They opened the door of the ambulance, and I was there. The first thing you could see was my face, completely fucked up, full of blood, defigurated, and yeah, it was horrible. So we get the clothes and we drive. It's like a 1 hour drive from my city to capital city to the hospital. And I start to feel super cold. In the middle of the road, I feel like because I lost so much blood, and it's been an hour or two since I got the accident, right? And they didn't even touch me in the hospital because they didn't want me to die right there. So there's no take him somewhere else. And so we are in the middle of the road. I start to feel cold. I was, like this, and they put, things over me to get me a little bit warm. And I felt like I couldn't breathe, man. I couldn't get any air. There was a unique feeling, I never felt that before or after. I couldn't breathe. It was because there wasn't enough oxygen in my body, right? Basically, because of all the blood that I lost. So they put that oxygen thing in my face. And I start to feel better. I could breathe now, and the fucking oxygen tank explodes in the middle of the fucking road. It was I couldn't see shit, but actually one of the doors, the back door of the ambulance, just went flying away. It was a big explosion because I was like finally relaxing a little bit, and boom, this big fucking explosion in the middle of the road. And that's when I felt like, okay, I'm dying. I could feel like I was dying, right? And I don't know if you ever heard that phrase that says like, I saw my entire life flash in front of my eyes. I think it is. In Spanish, it's like I saw my entire life in front of my eyes. I always thought it was just an expression, just a phrase. But no, you literally see your entire life in front of your eyes. It's like the closest. It's hard to explain, but the closest thing it will be one of those videos that had a lot of images that go really fast. But it's not visual. It's like a time tunnel that you go like, and it's your entire life, your entire time in this world, and it's like you relive. It's hard to explain, but it's crazy, and it happens when you're just about to die. And for me, I have to say, being so close to dying, it was relaxing. I'm fucking nuts. I'm crazy. But since I was a little kid, I've never been scared of dying. So I guess that's the reason. I felt peace. And I remember the only thing I thought, it's like, oh well, I hope my family is okay. I hope my parents are fine. That's it. I felt like, yeah, I just accepted it, and it was relaxing. I felt peaceful. So yeah, but anyways, we got to the hospital. Give me oxygen. I feel alive again. And yeah, I was in the hospital for 6 weeks actually, and it was nice, because I have to say I was pretty comfortable. I mean, the first week was obviously horrible, and the worst part is that I couldn't breathe through my nose, right? So I don't know if you ever have like to breathe through your fucking mouth for a while, but I was like that for 2 weeks, man. Oh, it was so uncomfortable because you can't swallow normally. You can't eat, you can't drink water normally, you can't speak. Your mouth is dry all the time. It's horrible. It's a nightmare. And the first days they have to help me go to the bathroom because I can't see right. I'm fucking blind. I didn't want anyone to go see me because I looked like a fucking monster. But as soon as I could see a little bit, I started working out in the hospital. It was kind of crazy, man, because I couldn't, like, for example, I couldn't do push-ups because I would get down and my face would get all swollen, right? I would start bleeding a little bit, so I couldn't do push-ups. But they got these steel beds, right? They're super heavy, so I was lifting the beds. I remember asking an old guy there that if I could lift his bed so it could get a little heavier, right? Because he was on the bed. I don't remember if I did it or not. But I was nuts. I used to go for a night run every night inside the hospital because they couldn't let me out, right? So I would run inside the hospital. They already knew me. Oh, this guy who's running, whose face is fucked up, but he's working out. That's my mentality, man. Gotta keep going, gotta keep pushing. I will shadow box or lift beds, running. It was a good time. I have to say I had a good time there. Food was good. I was all day long watching Guns N' Roses videos. But yeah, I didn't want to get out there because of my face, because of how I looked, right? When I first got to the hospital, the doctors couldn't believe that I was, first of all, that I was alive, and second, that I never lost conscience, because I never lost conscience, right? Not even when I was about to die. Now when I first crashed, I never lost conscience. So the doctors were like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And they do all these tests, right? They see it into my head, and I'm fine. It's just aesthetic. I mean, it's not aesthetic because I couldn't breathe, but yeah, I was just fine. And here's the problem, right? So I was so swollen, and they thought that I was about to die. They couldn't do the surgery, right? So after 2 weeks being there in the hospital, they tried to do the surgery and put my nose back in place, right? But the bones were already fused together, so my nose got stuck basically inside my fucking head. I don't really get it. There was nothing there before. Like, I don't know. I mean, if I get an X-ray on my head, it looks crazy. It looks crazy. But the thing is that the only thing that happened to me is like broke my nose and these bones here. And I was feeling fine, other than couldn't breathe. I mean, I was feeling fine. I was hungry. I remember my mother's friend got me some food, and I was with that neck, orthopedic neck, I think it's called. They took it out. I said, I feel fine, I'm fine. I just want to eat, And they got me some chicken and smashed potatoes. I remember it was funny because when you break these bones in your face, your mouth is like this is loose, this part of you, right? The upper part of your jaw is loose. So when I used to try to chew, it was like moving everywhere. I couldn't eat right? But I was trying to eat anyways because I was so hungry. I remember actually I kissed a nurse. It was the weirdest kiss, but it made me feel so good because it made my self-esteem go up a little bit, because I was feeling so fucking ugly, because I was so fucking ugly. And the girl was really nice, and she was changing something, I think in my arm or something like that. We just look at each other and we just a little kiss, like a 3-second kiss. And she laughed a little bit. She was so cute. And we never talked about it again. I never said anything to her. It was weird, but it was such a special moment. It was very special. But yeah, so I got out of surgery, and they tell me, that they couldn't put my nose back in place because their bones were already fused. So I got stuck with this fucking horrible face. I'm stuck with this. Because if they wanted to get my nose back in place, they have to break my face, and I could fucking die. So I got this fucking trauma about my face because, after a year, they couldn't touch my face for a fucking year. And I was going to school. I remember going to school. I used to grab one of this and shape it like it was some kind of a nose and put it here. Because I had no nose, man, nothing. It was nothing there. It was like it looked horrible, right? So I used to put it there, put some of this, and just shape it like a head and nose. And I just had a little bit of this shit on top, right? And I used to go to school. I went to school like that for a fucking year. Man, it was fucked up. It was super uncomfortable. I used to wear this and sunglasses. Because I was so uncomfortable. But even after, and a year after, I got this plastic surgery where they took a bone and put it there, right? So it looks like a nose. Now it looks like I have a nose, but my actual nose is inside my fucking head. So, but I don't look like a monster anymore. But my face is not symmetrical. My nose is a little bit like this from the front. and I look so different from this side and from this side, you know. And that's a fucking trauma that I have, you know. It's a big insecurity. I just don't get used to this face. I can't get used to, man. It's not my fucking face. So and this is one of the reasons why I never got a car when I used to have money. It's because I was thinking like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna go pick up a girl and she's gonna be on my right? Because I feel so uncomfortable when I'm talking or something, someone that is to my right, because I got this, you know, they look at this side of my face. So yeah, I just never got used to it. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe because I got so many crazy stories coming. So much music coming. If you like rock music, like from the 80s, check it out, man. I have some bangers already in the channel and some even bigger bangers coming soon. I don't even have a phone. That's why I'm using this stupid webcam. But I'm gonna be rich and famous soon, so stay tuned. Let's go.